Yesterday at work, I was triggered, and this person didn't mean any harm or they didn't have any ill intentions, but it triggered me. It really did. So, what triggered me was, you know how people say, "Oh, you're so strong, you're this, you're that," and that just really got to me because it put me in the mind of my dad when I was talking to my dad one time. And he was like, well, you were always the child who didn't ask for much. You were always the child who didn't say much. And that didn't make him think to see what was going on with me instead of just assuming that I was all right. And a lot of people do that. When I was dating this guy, he said, well, he was going through some things at that time. And he was like, well, you don't understand because you don't go through anything. What? And other people, they just look at people like me and think that we have it all together, and we do not have it all together. And when that happened yesterday, I I was just at such a low frequency, and I kind of felt bad for a moment because I'm like, okay, what all that I know, with all that I have learned about energies and things of that sort, I shouldn't be feeling this way. But I also have to remember that I am a small percentage of human as well. So I I just couldn't understand, like, how is it that somebody could look at you and feel as if you don't go through anything, like you're so strong that you can just pivot and move and be there for everybody else. But when there is no reciprocity for that strong person, it's like they have to deal with stuff on their own. And I thought about her, and I thought about her, and I thought about her, and I'm like, as I said, she didn't have any ill intent or anything like that. She just was like, well, oh, she's so strong. No, I'm not strong. It's just that when I was under the age of 18, I had nobody to rescue me. There's a difference. So I learned to cope with things and how to maneuver through life because I knew no one was coming. No one was coming. So now I know that I still have to deal with it. The fact that it did trigger me, that's something that I need to work through because I was at very low frequency. This was before I got that nasty drink from Starbucks, because I was on my way home from work and I was like, okay, well, I'm just going to get me some Starbies and then go home and, just do my little thing and try not to bring those energies into my house, because spiritually, the house is on lock, baby. And I don't want to bring nothing in my house. But I also want to add that, yes, I am a small percentage of human. And I just know that that's something that I really need to uh, deal with, address, and learn how to be like, okay, this is the emotion I'm feeling at that time. Even though I can do that a huge amount of times when I'm triggered, to be able to just, dismiss it or whatever. But yesterday was a really challenging day, or I should say really challenging moments, because I don't want to write my whole day off as if it was something that was so terrible. But yeah, and that I had a few challenging moments yesterday. And that last challenging moment was this lady saying that I was strong. I'm not strong. At least I don't think I am. I walk throughout life, with day to day life, just doing my own thing, like just being who I am. And the fact that she was like, oh, you're strong, I'm talking about something just clicked. And I was in low vibrations. And then I messed around to get a little nasty drink, which was like, okay, I'm glad I didn't have to swipe my card. I happened to have $6 in my purse, and I went and got it. it won't happen again. But yeah, so it's like I had to coach myself out of that yesterday. And then today I said I was going to watch the Megan Thee Stallion story. I'm 7 minutes in. I had to cut it off because it triggered me even more. So I don't want to ingest that into my spirit. And I know how it feels to be by yourself, to not have support. And if you do have support, are they there to ride on your coattail? Are they really truly there? Because I've had people that I had to let go from my past, because who I am now, they wouldn't know me. Because they don't know me now, they'll consistently be like, oh, okay, you remember when you this, remember when you that, remember when you this and that. But you're not her. You're not her anymore. And I know I'm not her anymore. So I just truly understand, how it feels when you need a break, when you need to be like, okay, I need to step back from life. So I just turned it off. Like I said, I was 7 minutes in. And I'm talking about, like, I cried after I cut it off. Because I know how she feels. It's like I've had a target on my back. Like, I can't remember what happened before the age of 6. But if you look at my story, if you have been following me, you look at my social media, my YouTube, if you look at my Facebook, all of that, you will know that at the age of 6, that's when everything started. When I had to be on the opposite end of men and their lust. So when I realized no one was coming to save me, I had to do what I had to do. I lived life in defense mode. I lived life in survival mode. I lived life doing so much just to be able to maintain mentally. And a lot of people who know me be like, hey, you've been through so much and this, that, and the third. I'm surprised you're not on drugs or strung out on anything or alcoholic or whatever the case is. And I'm wondering too, like, oh no, but I've seen the effects of that. So that's a whole nother story. But I do what I can, I did what I could to get through what I had to get through at that time. But now it's like I only have one good person in my corner outside of, in my immediate circle, I should say, outside of my daughters. And I'm okay with that. Because that person knew me back then, and they also respect the fact that I am growing spiritually. Like, I am leveling up in many ways and getting to know myself. I'm talking about a whole lot more, and rediscovering things and discovering new things. So I just wanted to come on and say, it's not a badge of honor for somebody to be like, oh, you're strong, or you're this, or you're that. I'm not strong. I just knew no one was coming to save me.